So I'm actually just going to talk about this one because I feel I don't actually have this that down at all, and I think basically, I think I have some of the chords right, but I think I'm just going to do more of an analysis / tutorial because weirdly enough, it's actually somewhat easier to do some tutorials rather than to play the song because I'm playing a song that was like a big, thing about like getting it right, there's certain things like verse repeats, and things like that, which are like easier. It seems easier, but I think like we're not just gonna talk about it. Despite me not being quite in the mood, but I'm gonna force myself into it. I don't know if that's the right mindset really to have about anything, but yeah, it's it's an earworm of a ditty. I wouldn't call it a ditty. It's like a piece. It's like contemporary classical almost, but art pop, I guess. It's Kristine Leschper, and she's of the band Mothers, formerly of the band, I think, because they disbanded. I don't know how long ago. I think not too long ago. They might actually be one of those things where it's like they're on hiatus, but like technically, but like she's pursued her own solo career, and she has a song. It's called off of the opening and closing of a door. Her semi-recent. I think it came out like a year or two ago. One of the few things I can actually say with some confidence that I actually have listened to somewhat shortly after was published, and that's only by happenstance because that rarely happens. So because I'm usually kind of late to the game in a lot of things, and yeah, it's Hold a Ribbon is a song I'm looking at, and it starts out in an A, I think, and then it goes. A7, it starts with that, but it also does C, the major, or rather, the third above it, minor third above it, but, it's a chord, It has like this kind of a boom, 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 boom. I'm horrible with time signatures, but I think it's not 6/8. It's not like it's not that, but it's a kind of. It could be like 4/4, but counted in a weird way. Either way, it reminds me a lot of like Ravel's not Menuet. It's it's a famous one, Bolero by Ravel. It does like it's like eventually by the end of it, he's doing like basically. It's in C the whole time, but too much. But it's in C the whole time, but it just changes modal scales or something. Where it's like, and the next one's up the major scale. Now we're in Dorian, right? And then it does that, and then it does. Now we're in Lydian, or you could kind of a mix of both. That's why modes are fun, because you can play around with them. You can combine two different ones. And then he does, by the end of it, he has like a nice and he's like because he does that like Phrygian type of thing. It's like, ooh, because that's leading you to believe it's actually an F minor or something about F tonic, right? Something like that. He expresses every single mode of the scale, from the major. Something like that effect. But what Kristine Leschper, sorry, she does like a similar thing. She does like pedals. That that A tonic, but it's actually, I don't know if I'd call it an A, because it sounds like it's wandering. The tone is like wandering. It doesn't know where it wants to go. Is it like, because at first I was hearing it, I was like, wait, it's in C, and it's going down. And I thought it was going to go to like E minor or something, or you know, something C or something like that. Because that's a third bow. You know, something like that. Something. But she's actually doing this really interesting, because it's like, there's lots, if you listen to the original song, there's lots of very beautiful orchestral things like oboes and flutes and you know, like percussive type, you know, like a string quartet. It's very very ornate. You know, so doing that. So their vocal line, it's like that A. It's an A4, I think. You know, something like. You know, it's about the A above middle C. I think that's middle C. It's the A. So it's. I can't obviously sing that high. Maybe even falsetto poorly, but it would be like. But then she does this. So that instantly, because of that B flat there, or you know, A sharp, is leading me to believe, D minor. D minor is the key we're in, tentatively, but she does lots of different things in it too. So it's like, but it's like. Third above it, C. Her vocal is kind of wandering. But what I found, half steps. There's lots of half steps. He's really using what I would call as melodic minor, I think. Like I would call that like. Well, that's actually melodic major, I think. But in D minor, it would actually that would be, which is one of my favorite scales ever. Here, if you listen to anything by Chopin, he does a lot of that too. You know, so but she goes back, but she's not playing. I don't think she actually, to her credit, which is actually pretty hard, she actually doesn't play a D minor in the whole entire thing, but it's assumed, in my head at least, because I'm trying to. It's going between that E, F, E and F, and then it's. Now we're in B flat, so now. And again, you still have that kind of. I want to call it mixolydian type of thing. It isn't mixolydian, it's taking, you know, borrowing, I'd say, but it's not technically borrowing, but. I've heard that, you hear that jazz or something, you know, right, Sakamoto kind of do a thing where he's like, you know, like, like that. Where he's like, but I don't think he's doing necessarily that, because that's actually still, those are all, you know, E, and if you're saying F, relative minor, T minor. If you're saying you're still using that, you know, this unless you switch to Warriors. But something like, so they're normally going like almost like. Major thirds, minor thirds chord, minor third shape above is what makes a song. And then there's like a major under it. So why does that work? Why is it song? That's actually the true Lydian thing. Mixed Lydian, I'm sorry. That, because you like... That would be our natural thing, but there. So there's lots of playing around with scales and modes and I don't know, we call it interchange maybe, or so she's doing like a C6. I'm not sure how many times she repeats that. That would almost sound like a C7. That would, be our Plato, not a Plato cadence. Plato cadence would be this. Which you hear a lot. But, that's not Plato cadence, it's actually, Amen cadence. Or I'm sorry. Or sort of, it's like from a dominant. Yeah, you hear it all the time. In his serenade, but when you go back to here, it's like the wall. Alright, okay. So, back to that. So she repeats that again. So, a major seventh chord shape. She likes to use a lot too. So I love that. Something about playing not only this G7, but having that kind of that half step in there too. I guess we'd call it like a 6 added in there. But cluster chords, those like half notes. I would almost say that's like a deceptive type of thing too, because she's starting out with because it's starting out in the 5th. That's actually I'm thinking of the C as a 5th. Yes, that theme of that's going to come back. That A consistent. I almost think of that as a tonic in a way, even though it feels more like a 5th if you're going to be, it's like, wait a second. But I thought you said this was a 5th, but it's like, it depends on how you think about it. It's like, well, if it's in, if it's in F, that it would be 5th. Now, if it was if we called it, well, let's call it A, that would be the 1st. It just depends on how you phrase it, I guess, the context. But again, like I said, this almost has a wandering feel. It's almost like a little bit like Radiohead's. It's been so long since I played this. isn't in C, and you'd be like. You also have that half step as well. You're like Phrygian thing, so you'd be like F, right? Because when he does F or F major, there's no rules with the Radiohead. It's like, you know, like. In fact, you're almost hearing the same thing. It's like playing around a fifth and a fifth, but then that half step, that D flat, major 7 or 6 or whatever it is. And that E flat 6 or. But going back to Kristine's ribbon. It has this sort of wandering type of tone. It doesn't want to say, it doesn't, it's almost like it doesn't want to end, like it's like kind of just detached in like its own like realm. It's like just kind of detached, wandering a lot, which I find fascinating. I just love that. So now we go into the break. The instrumental break does an interesting thing because it's like it goes into G. I hear when I'm hearing in the studio version, obviously, is I'll perform it the same way, exactly the same way live. Is I'm hearing it in G, but like I'm also hearing this is where Ravel, my comparisons to Ravel, because I'm trying to find something to kind of describe it that I know. Being the hack musician that I am, I kind of like, oh, well, it sounds kind of like, you know, Bolero a little bit. There's like the main instrumentation of, you know, I'm getting from the treble little lines is doing like a little triad there, like a D minor triad, which is actually kind of reintroducing the kind of doing the same thing. It's a leitmotif, because it's reusing, kind of rephrasing it in the same way, but it's. But I'm still actually confused about this because it sounds like it's like the instruments are doing, like the cello, for example, is playing like a low G, but it sounds like. Rests on that thought, and then it kind of goes, and then it goes into the G, into the full. A again, it's like and then a G minor, or it could be a G, whatever it is. It's like kind of. I like. harmony in there. No, there's like that kind of. There's like a tension in that. Tension is the word I'm looking for. The whole thing. There's like a tension. It does that. It repeats that a few times. Different. It's like a very. There's lots of power in the orchestration. Like the drums kick in, and it's very like a payoff. There's an emotional payoff. So there is some resolution there, but like then it kind of enters. So it's tempting to want to express the notes like this kind of. But then she ends on, this is the really genius part 2, and then it's like, and it's like a. It's like, and then it goes back into Lydian or Mixolydian dream world again. So it's like, dang it, it's like kind of, you have some resolution and tease at you. Goes off back into the kind of detached realm with nothing, what's the word, anchored. There's no anchored point. Like it goes back into. I want to say there's another song that does that, but I can't off the top of my head. There's something else by Radiohead or might use a similar thing, like Pyramid Song, I think, does. Where it's like but it has like a thing, like again, like a wandering thing, and you get that a lot when you do stuff like that. And I'm trying to refrain from using too much lingo or trying to breathe in intentions and stuff that maybe she didn't actually have in mind herself when first writing it. So I'm trying not to be like, oh, well, actually what she was trying to do was she was doing this and this, and her little thing was she was trying to do mix it. I'm just using kind of my paltry knowledge to kind of stitch together something because I just find it a fascinating piece of music. And I'm like, well, I know maybe sometimes Rick Beato, for example, is from his, the stuff that I tried to understand from him. Like he kind of, uses a lot of like lingo like subdominant, as being like a fifth or something. And then I've heard other people just say perfect fifth or or fourth or something like that. So it's not, like something, But there's different ways you can refer to these things. It doesn't have to be all like astringent, like, oh, it has to be, which is one of the reasons I can't read music after all this time. Like all this stuff is just, it's just, I kind of get it, efface, F-A-C-E, using a little bit of the, and all the notes in between. And then I know if there's like kind of that mark on there, that means it's like a sharp, so it's like, so I can kind of, I'm crap at it. Anyway, that's just a little bit of Kristine Leschper's song Ribbon off of a really equally fantastic album. So, yeah.